Here we go with episode 22 of Orb on the movements of the Earth. Let's see how the story goes on, and right now, let's see if Draka's plan will be fulfilled. Let's watch it together. Yeah. Yeah, they do it, in fact. Oh, they are coming. I hope that Draka will say something in front of Novak somehow. Anyway, even if the letter is for Potoki, but I hope that she has the chance to talk to him anyway. Okay. It's not gonna work. I think he is too anxious. He doesn't have the mind to think. See, he's too frustrated. He doesn't know how to rule these moments. Oh! Yeah, but that job is already a mess. Come on, he will have the chance to talk to her. So he will leave her going and he will step behind. So he will confront Novak. Oh wow. Oh! Be careful, Schmidt, because behind maybe Novak can come too. For the proposal. Oh, okay, he killed him. I said that. Okay, it was not Novak, but another one coming from behind his back. No F way. Whoa! No F way anyway. No, I said that. No way. I hope that now Schmidt will say something about Violenta. Just that means your daughter did the same, right, Novak? No, Schmidt. No F way. I don't have it. Yeah, because the parts of the money they went already over there. No. Oh, so Yolenta went to meet the bishop. What a F. What a courage. I can't wait to hear what she says. Because she met him already. Yeah. No, she's gonna give him the info, so. No, 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 wait, 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 wait. Oh, he can't find a hint about his daughter. Yeah, but he wants to know what type of book. Uh, exactly. That's the problem. Yeah, in fact, that's not. Yeah, we remember that, yeah. No reason. Come on, Anthony, make a difference. Yeah, of course, that's the priority. Yeah, that's what he's interested in. He doesn't care about the book itself. He cares about how much money you wanted to give me. 50-50, he will never. No. No, no. Yeah, as always. Draka, I think it was wrong to let him choose. Yeah, okay. But is Potoki still alive? Oh! No, I forgot. Okay, so he will have the chance to talk to her. I think he will recognize the cloth of Violenta. Let's see if he meets her. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't wait. Don't you see the cloth of your daughter? He knows already. Uh, come on. Don't you see? Novak, the disillusion starts right now. If it's about money, he can do everything. You don't have an explanation, Novak, about that. Who cares about what he said? Oh, okay. Oh, Anthony. They don't say anything about that. The usual ones. Anthony, well done. The problem is that you do this for money, but. Nothing, in fact. But why you didn't think it about it before, Anthony? Ah, this is correct, but why you didn't do it before? Man, look at Novak's disillusion. Look at. Ah. You wasted your life, Novak. Wow. Exactly. Yeah. It's all because of human beings. How much time you wasted, Novak. Yeah. And you believed in that, Novak. I don't want to be in your position right now. Because you believed it too much. Yeah. That's your fault. Because you were followed. Mm. Yeah, what a failure. That's hard. That's a wow. This episode is very powerful. No actions, no motions, nothing fast as the speed of light, no battles, nothing, but there are lots of dialogues, and these dialogues are very important. I want to start from the end, sincerely, Novak and Anthony. I think this dialogue created a hole in in Novak's heart, because yeah, I called it a disillusion, but that's a way to let him go back to reality. I think Novak in this episode found out how he wasted his life through beliefs that, yeah, he didn't even question, and that's the problem. He has never questioned about who can give us another interpretation of why we are going against the heretics. Why do I have to torture them and kill them? Why? What's the point? Can I put into discussion what I've heard? No, he was simply following his duty, and at the same time, he was following in a loyal way what the previous bishop was telling him without even asking himself questions, and that's the problem. He spent his entire life without questioning anything, and just by following the rules, just by following the orders, he created a life that was a misunderstanding. Yeah, when you realize almost at the end of your life that everything that you have created was a misunderstanding, you also realize how important would it be to realize things early. But time can't go back, and you are forced to accept a reality that you didn't want to know, that you didn't want to discover. So in Novak's case, it would have been better to be killed or to end his life as it was without even realizing that. I think that would have been more peaceful. As I told you, that's the price that he had to pay in the moment he turned his back on his daughter, and he realized that she was surrounded by heretics. The thing was that he had to fulfill his duty. He had to fulfill his beliefs till the end, no matter if later, right now, he is discovering that everything he had done was wrong. It would have been better to listen to other people's opinions, no matter the difference, and it would have been better to open his eyes regarding what was surrounding him, because at the end of the day, Anthony is creating this hole around Novak. He is letting him understand that what happened was following some people's ideas. That means the church ideas, but the church, compared to the rest of the world, is made by few people, right? And these few people can be that powerful that you can believe everything that they are telling you because you were under them all that time. So Novak is both a victim of the church, but also a victim of himself, because he didn't want to pay attention on anything. He was just following everything. So I don't consider Novak a victim of the church only, because he could have questioned. He had time to ask all the heretics why they think something like this and why they don't follow the Holy Scriptures anymore. I mean, even if in the Bible there's something written and you're a religious person and you believe without even questioning whatever it's written, ask yourself why anyway, or ask yourself why other interpretations are not good. It's just a matter of money, because the church has always wanted to gain money from everything they have done. So even in this case, Anthony right now is changing his opinion, not just because there's no profit. There is the profit, and he agreed with Draka that if this book would have been spreaded, he would have gained 80%, and Draka only the 20%. That makes you understand that what church really wants is just to survive, because Anthony said it clearly. If something goes wrong against us, I'm going to destroy this idea. I'm going to ban all the books we will publish, just in the case something negative happens to us. So what the church wants to do, and that's exactly what the church wants to do even nowadays, is to find a way to survive. Right now in the Vatican, you have the archives, right? And these archives are enormous, and that's their only way to survive. Because if someone goes through those archives and can tell all the secrets deep down in those archives once for all, the Vatican is gone. I mean, the church, the Catholic Church, will be destroyed. There will be no other thing that they can do rather than keep these a secret. Because if there are those secrets, we know that they can still survive. Also because we don't know the meaning of those secrets, the truth behind those secrets. That's exactly what happens in this episode when we have the dialogue between Anthony and Draka. Draka is already telling him, look, can you show me an evidence that what the people who believed in the heliocentrism are wrong? Can you give me an evidence that what you believe, what's said in the Bible is the ultimate truth? And of course, Anthony can't give these evidences because he doesn't know. I mean, he has followed his father in order to become a bishop, because I think that the intention was just this. I mean, it was just to gain lots of money, to be in power, to create a sort of elite, and to create this ultimate form of status. So the clergy has always gone on like this, to create this little community in which they have power, they can intimidate others, and all the others, I mean all the population, have to obey to everything that the church is saying. And that's the must, that's what happened throughout the centuries. And even nowadays, the church is very powerful, even if it doesn't seem so, because it's just something that you see externally speaking. No, actually, the church has lots of power in many world decisions. And that's why I'm saying that nothing has changed so much. Yeah, we nowadays kind of think differently. I mean, we have different opinions, and that's the main deal. But at the same time, what we believe cannot be as powerful as what they are, because we are still thinking that we are too afraid to oppose these, because we already know how powerful they are. But at the end of the day, Anthony is right. That's just a small community that can't be compared to the number of the population of the world. So we are just stuck into this fear to contrast all these. And as much as I told you in the previous episode, I really hope that this is gonna change, that we will find the courage, the confidence to get rid of all these impositions, because these impositions are creating a malevolent society, a society that we are forced to live in, which there is no way to contrast anything of these. And you know that I'm totally against everything that concerns these. But I like the even Draka, because Draka is a very young woman. I mean, she's a girl, she's still an adolescent. But anyway, she had the strength to contrast the bishop. And so you understand that no matter the age, the younger people can be very smart, can be very well educated about what they say, and they have knowledge. They can contrast these way of continue to pursue this power. And I really liked that dialogue, because Draka had nothing to lose, while the bishop has lots to lose. And that's why Draka is more powerful than him. It doesn't matter the 80% of the profit and the 20%. No, here we are talking about ideas, and I think that Draka has nothing to lose. She doesn't have lots of money to lose, she doesn't have to lose the status, she doesn't have to lose the priority of being more important than others. I mean, yeah, she's just a common person, but this common person can contrast these powerful people, because they are more scared than us, because they have to lose a lot. And when she was putting into a difficult situation, into a difficult moment, the bishop, yeah, that moment was priceless, because that reveals you that everything that was told, it was just sequence of beliefs that were told every time, so that people could control other people. Because I told you already, these religions are made of human beings, and these religions are made in order to control other people. There is nothing religious on these. There is nothing that follows the will of God, or what God really wants us to do and whatsoever. It's just a way to profit. It's just a way to gain money. That's all. But this doesn't regard the Catholic Church. It can concern all religions, because when money is involved, there's nothing else that is more important. And that's why, yeah, religions were made to not just to control others, or to create or to establish the power on others, but also because there could have been a profit from these. All the times you go to church and you donate money, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If we have to follow God's will, why do we have to donate money? Yeah, we have to donate money because they create something benevolent. Are you sure of this? I am not, sincerely. And that's why I would never donate money to church. I prefer to donate money by myself to poor people. That's more efficient. What was priceless too was Novak's reaction. Yeah, I think that Novak understood how much he wasted, that his life was completely a failure, because he followed everything, and he followed all that he did because of other people's instructions. And while he was doing this, he was losing everything around him. He was losing not just his daughter, he was losing time with his daughter. He was losing even the dignity to have his own thoughts. And yeah, it was everything wasted. I would have never wanted to be in Novak's position, sincerely, because his life was very miserable. He had to torture people, he had to kill people, and now he has to take the responsibility of everything that he did. Not just because, oh, sorry, it was an order. No, you did it. So no matter the orders, you could have opposed these orders no matter the consequences, but you didn't have enough courage to do so, or you didn't have enough courage to ask yourself anything about what you were doing. Because when he was torturing people, they were people. They were not nothing. Okay, they had a meaning, they had values, but he didn't care about that. When he's accusing the bishop right now, that says, when he says, oh look, I had to kill this and this, yeah, but you did it. So it's pointless to give the fault to other people. You should recognize your own faults, because at that time you tortured Rafal, you tortured Oxy and Badeni, you even tortured the first man who talked to Rafal, Hubert. So it's pointless. You did it, and you were convinced to do so, and you did it even with that arrogance that is typical of a person who follows what other people are saying without to put anything in discussion. Now it's time for you to feel all the remorses or the regrets, all the fault, all the sadness, everything. That's the karma. Everything goes back to you. What you do, especially if it's something negative that you do to other people, will come back at you. That's the law of nature anyway. I really liked the moment that his convictions are destroyed in few minutes. I mean, it took a long lifetime for him to reach this moment in which in few minutes everything that he was thinking was deleted. And you can't even see the change of mind, because Anthony changed his mind, and I wanted to remark this, not just because now he starts thinking that heliocentrism can be a new option. There's money involved. If money was not involved, Anthony would have never cared about what Draca was saying, but he understands that by publishing books, the church can inherit money from those, and that's why he agrees. So even Anthony makes you understand how smart the church is to try to find new ways to survive. I'm happy that Draca found a way to publish that book anyway, because that's the most powerful thing that happened in this episode, that no matter who you try to convince and in which way do you try to convince others of what you wanted to do, the result is that. I mean, the book will be published. They can give the chance to the people to think differently, to understand a new vision of the things, and then it's up to the people to believe it, to not believe it. And I liked even the moment in which Draca was explaining why she wants to publish that book, to try to convince the bishop, because she was saying, you know that when people have nothing to do, they read books and they find their pleasure in reading stories. Yeah, she's true. I mean, when people read books, it's because they want to go like into another dimension and to read something else, or to help themselves to go through hard moments and whatever. But in this case, the purpose is also different, because you have the chance to see the world in a different way. Rather than everything that you have seen so far, we have another interpretation. Because even in previous episodes, they were talking about interpretations, right? And even Schmidt was against these interpretations, because he believed in no empathy towards others, even if then he changed. He believed in no other interpretations, because God has its own will to do things, and we can't find other interpretations on what's happening in the world. It's just God. It's just because of God, without even trying to questioning yourself. Yeah, even Schmidt changed at the end of the day. His convictions were erased the last time that we watched the previous episode, and I liked the way in which, no matter the fear he had to go on and protect Draca, he did it. So not only he overcame his obstacles, or I mean his convictions that were making him feel inside a cage, but he also went against his fears. And I think that's very important, because anyway, we have to die. So no matter if you die before or after, the most important thing is that you follow what you believe, but you are not too stuck into these beliefs. That you're able to change your mind based on the evidences or based on other people's opinions, because that's really important. No matter the evidences, the most important is to communicate and to find other versions of the story. No matter if you try to believe in these or not, let's just listen, because maybe if you listen to something different, then you start questioning. And if you start questioning, it's not a problem. It's something very good to do. Because nothing is sure, or let's say many things are sure based on the society we live in. But if the society is corrupted, then everything can be corrupted. Everything you have taught so far can be corrupted. Everything that you have learned so far can be corrupted. So where is the answer? The ultimate truth? Let's follow Jolenta's suggestion. Let's keep wondering. Because if you wonder and if you go on exploring, discovering, and if you are curious to discover, you can change the world for real. So the message of this story is, no matter if history will recognize you or not, no matter if people will remember about you or not, it doesn't matter. This can help somebody who will be recognized, who will be remembered and whatsoever, to create a change in the world. So it doesn't matter if you're popular or not. The most important thing is that what you think. And if what you think is powerful to influence others, then that's very, very nice. I really think that that's gonna work. Also because the change of the world happens not because of the person that is popular and puts his or her face in front of everybody, but it's also thanks to what's behind, okay? What's behind this person, all the people who contributed to the change of the world. And even if Oxy, Badeni, Hubert, Rafal will never be popular, because Jolenta is the one who's written there as the one who made this book. All the others were important too. All the others contributed to this success. And that's why it's really meaningful. Absolutely. Let's see how the story goes on. Let's see what Novak wants to do right now. Let's see if the bishop will keep his promise to publish the book. And let's see what's going to happen later after. See you next time with episode 23 of Orb on the Movements of the Earth. Thank you so much for the support, and see you in the next video.